it's Tina and I'm back. And I hope everyone's doing great. Oh, wait a minute, she's too high. I hope you're doing well and staying safe. If you're also back, welcome back. Thank you so much for joining me again. I'm so happy to see your face. Say hi to the family for me. But if you're new and maybe you like what you see, please consider subscribing because we have tons of fun here on this channel talking about makeup and all things beauty. And we love playing in makeup and chatting, and that's exactly what we're going to do today. I am getting ready. I am going out to eat. I think I am going out, all right? So I needed to get ready, and I figured it was a great time to sit down, play in some makeup, and chat with you guys. I love these chatty get ready with me's, and this specific one, we're gonna talk about a little run-in that I had with a guy. I know, it's a whole story. He's pretty much an incel, even though I don't think he's celibate. He may be getting some action, but very limited, and he's trying to engage with me, like to get, it's not happening. So we're gonna chat all about that. So if you wanna see how I created this look, which I'm actually doing with the Lorac Unzipped palettes, yeah. Talk about OG, right? These are throwback palettes. I bought some new ones, right? So it's not my old ones from like 10 years ago. I picked up some new ones. I'm also using a new foundation. So it's the Sublimage from Chanel. That's what I'm wearing. And I use some new Make Beauty products. They're not new to me, but they're new to my channel. I've already been using them. I also have the new Glow Recipe Serum Primer. So we're gonna play in makeup, we're gonna chat, just have some girl talk. So if that sounds interesting to you, let's go ahead and jump right into it. All right, so as usual, I'm starting off with a clean, freshly washed face, and I am actually naked right now. Yes, you may be like, is she naked? Yes, she is. Okay, I am naked. I just got out the shower, and I'm not putting on my underwear right now because I don't want to get hot. Does that make sense? I gotta put a bra on, but I haven't chosen my outfit, so I'm literally sitting here naked. You're only gonna see my shoulders though, so hopefully I won't flash you. So I already filled it. I know. TMI, but here's the thing, okay? That's what we do here on this channel. We just chat, all right? So I already filled in my brows, and I think I figured out what was wrong with my brows and why this one was always so thick. I tweezed like a good chunk of hair from under this side, like under my arch, and it thinned it out a bit, and now my brows look more even. They're not exactly perfectly even, but they're close enough. So yeah, so I'm getting ready to go out. I don't know where I'm going. I don't know if I'm going to dinner. I don't know where I'm going, okay? I'm hungry though, so there better be food involved. So I'm gonna start out with this Glow Recipe Strawberry BHA Pore Smooth Blur Drops Pore Refining Plus Oh my god, all right. This is the Glow Recipe Strawberry BHA Pore Smooth Blur Drops Pore Refining Plus Blurring Serum, all right? So it's a really cute little packaging. It is from their strawberry line, and it's a serum, so it is very liquidy. I tried to squeeze this on my face before, but as you can see, it's drippy. So I am just going to apply that to the areas of my face that are very porous, okay? I mean, my skin is porous, obviously. I mean, the parts of my face that my pores really shine through. So mainly around my nose, on my nose itself, and then even a little bit, you know, yeah, right between my brows. Yeah, let's apply that right there. So how are you guys doing? Oh my god. I don't have anything to talk about today. I am just chilling. No, I do. I forgot. Oh my god. So I wanted to talk to you guys, all right, about a comment that I got from this guy that I'm not talking to like he's literally just a friend, and I keep him at an arm's distance because that's just how I am with guys. I keep them out here, all right? We can be cool, we can talk, but I'm not giving you an inch because you're gonna take a mile. So I keep you out here. I let you know I'm not interested. Like, leave me alone. Like, it's not going there with me. And I mentioned this guy before because he's interested in me, which is even more reason to keep him at a distance. But We didn't talk for like a while, and we don't talk regularly. It's not like we regularly have conversations, but every now and then he'll DM me or he'll text me. I had to adjust the camera angle a little bit because I need to see in my mirror, and my camera is, yeah, all right. That should work. Yeah. We're good now. So this guy messaged me, right? And we mainly communicate on Instagram. He'll send me like memes and stuff. So there are set people that are allowed to send me memes. Anybody else that sends me memes, listen, all right, I'm not participating. I don't have time or energy. You ever get notifications from like a bunch of people and I'm like, you're not that person for me. Like, you're not my meme person, so I'm probably not going to engage. I'm sorry, I just don't have the time. And it's nothing against you. Like, people will send me things that they think is funny, and I'm like, we don't have the same humor. Okay, here's the thing. I'm using some OG palettes, okay? These are from Lorac. We have the Lorac original unzipped palette and the unzipped gold. Do you guys remember these? So this is the unzipped, which has like cool mauvey tones. This reminds me of the Huda Beauty, that new like cool tone palette that she released, but that's all matte. This has shimmer in it, but this is cool tone. And then the gold has warmer tones, but not orange tones, okay? They're warmer, more earthy, neutral tones. And then we have like some golden champagnes. So we're gonna mix this up. These palettes, I love them so much. Like back in the day, and I repurchased them. I got brand new ones, right? Because my other ones were kind of old. Like they were almost like 10 years old at that point. But we're gonna mix it up. So let's go into the gold palette. Do you care if I show you what shades I'm using? This is the first time I'm digging into them after all these years of not using this palette. They're new. They're not years old. I'm just saying, like, I haven't used them in years, this specific color story. And I think Lorac has changed their formula a little bit, so we're just gonna go for it. So anyway, he messages me, right? He sends me this video of this guy talking about marrying the wrong person. So it's a comedian. So the comedian was saying he was on a date with someone, right? And she was asking him like why he didn't want to get married, but he would still die for her. And he's like, yeah, I would die for you, but that would be instant, like it would be quick, but I don't want to marry you because marrying the wrong person is like dying slowly, like a really slow death. And the comedian was making fun of that. You know, marriage is the ball and chain. Men always make the joke that marriage is like a terrible thing for them and blah, blah, blah. So he sends me this video and I watch it and I'm like, okay, what's the context here? You know, I don't like, all right. So I mentioned this before, but you may not have watched that video. This guy is a former coworker. He was married. Both of us were married at the time that we knew each other. He recently got divorced. I've been divorced a couple of years now. Wow, it's actually been a couple of years. Wow. So he's been divorced like, I think they finalized it end of last year. They sold a house. He recently sold a house, right? And he moved into a new apartment like very recently, like in the last couple of weeks. So he's like going through the things, and I understand it because when I got divorced, oh my God, it was a whole to-do and people never talk about it. My divorce was amicable. Like, we knew why we were getting divorced, and that's not something I need to discuss with you guys. And you guys have respected that so much, which is why I tell people all the time, I have the best subscribers. Like the Fancy Fam, you guys are awesome. You've respected my choice not to discuss why I got divorced, because I just don't feel like that's anybody's business. That's between me and my ex, and he doesn't have the chance to tell his side of the story. But it was amicable, like we're still cool. But I'll tell you right now, when we went to sign the divorce papers, so you know, it wasn't contested and I did self-filing, like there were no lawyers involved. It was that simple. You had to actually get the papers served to the person and have them sign it and return it to you, or you could just sign it with the person, which is what we did. Again, we're cool. So I'm using this palette still, just going back and forth in the matte just to build up like a gradient on my outer crease. You know how I do my makeup. So when we went into the notary, because you have to get it notarized, the signatures, before you send it to the court. So we signed it together at our local bank. So if you have a bank account like with Chase, Bank of America, any of those banks, and they have a notary in a branch, you can get your documents notarized for free, right? So we went into just the local bank, got the documents signed in front of them, whatever, right? And I don't know what happened, but he was going through and signing his part of the document. And let me tell you right now, I started bawling like a hella fool, okay? I was bawling, and it's like, it had been a while since we knew this was happening. It's like, we already spoke, like, it was a year in the making by the time we actually did the filing of the paperwork, right? Because you separate, you kind of figure things out, and then you file the paperwork. We weren't in no rush because, again, we're cool, so it wasn't like a rush to get divorced, you know? So we didn't file for a while. So I started bawling. It was awful. I'm like, oh my God, this poor notary is probably like, what the hell is this? But I couldn't help it, and I didn't expect to start crying, but it's just like, you start reflecting on everything that you went through, like the good times, and you mainly remember the good times. We didn't have really bad times. That's the other part that made it really sad. We didn't really have bad times. So it's just like all these memories came flooding back, and I started bawling, child. It was a whole thing. But anyway, so now this guy just sold his house. He moved out, you know, he's on his own. So I understand the emotions that go along with that, right? Because I went through it, and at least with my divorce, I had like I could still talk to my ex, like I could express certain things. It wasn't like I was going through it necessarily alone, you know, and I had my friends and whatever. But with this guy, he complains a lot that people aren't talking to him, like the friends they had together, like they are not his friends anymore, like everybody's siding with her. So he's like in a bad state, right? And he complains a lot about people not supporting him, and I'm like, shut up, I can't, okay? But he complains a lot about people not being supportive, right? Whatever. So I understand he's going through like a really emotional time right now, you know, getting back on his feet, like figuring out how life is gonna continue now as a single person, because you're now single, and your life that you had envisioned is no longer like your life, you know? Whatever plans you had for your future, you better like regroup, like it's gonna be different. So fine, he sends me this video. I'm like, okay, let me see what I said. I'll tell you exactly what I said. I said, been there, done that, right? The marriage thing. And would redo, because I would go, if I had to go back, you know how people say if they had to go back, they would change? No, I would still get married to my ex. I would still go through all that, even knowing how it ends. I would still experience that, right? And then I said, would redo, but maybe not repeat, because getting married again is not on my bingo card. Like, I might, but it's not like something that I'm itching to do. Like, there's no rush. If I meet someone that I want to get married to, again, okay, sure, but it's not necessarily something that I'm looking to do. Like, I did it. Okay, been there, done that. Like, I did it. I did the whole marriage thing. I checked it off the list. Okay. You know? Then he goes, slow death is not it. We gotta die in a skydiving accident or something, LOL. Which is what the comedian was saying, right? He would die for somebody, but it would be quick versus like a slow death, right? Which he compared marriage to a slow death. Marriage to the wrong person, right? And then I said, quick and painless, please, or of old age. And then he goes, I agree, when are we getting married, right? And then he makes a joke about Tina Turner, because his last name is Turner, my name is Tina, so it's like Tina Turner. I get it, like, haha, you know? I get why that's funny. And he goes, LOL. And I said, nah, solo dolo me, please. And he says, LOL, I'm definitely joking. It's so much easier. I don't know what he's talking about, right? So I send him this article. You send me something, I'm gonna send you something. So I sent him this article that says, is marriage a good choice? Not if you're a woman. And there have been many studies done, and you always hear about this, that marriage actually benefits men over women. Women actually carry the burden of partnership in a marriage, right? They have to be the caretaker of kids. If they have kids, they have to manage the home, do the chores. Like, being in a relationship with a cis man, whoo, a whole situation, okay? I don't know what it is about the culture in the West, but men, well, it's not even in the West, it's just like globally, right? Men just think that it's the woman's job to take care of the home, but women are working, right? So that was back in the day when women were not actually out in the workforce. So they were home, they were stay-at-home wives and stay-at-home moms. They took care of the house and the kids because that was their job, right? It wasn't that they weren't working, that was just their job, to be at home with the kids. They were the housewives, right? And the stay-at-home moms. The men would go out into the workforce and earn the money for, you know, the expenses, right? And the woman would bear the burden of the housework and the kids. But things and times have changed, child. Now women are also working, but those traditional roles have not really changed much, right? And men still expect women to carry the burden of the household and of the child care. So it's just like, where's the balance? I'm not about to be out here working full-time, paying some of these bills, and be expected to carry the weight of the home. No, it's not. No, that's not gonna happen. And I didn't have that issue with my ex. We split like household chores and duties down the middle. Like, he did his own laundry. I never had to touch his laundry. We had 2 bathrooms and they were separate. So I had my bathroom, he had his, and we liked it that way. Not that we couldn't use the other bathroom, but it's just like, this is your bathroom. You decorate it how you want to. You have all the products that you want in here. That's your bathroom. He cleaned his bathroom himself, and he was a very clean person. He had his own closet, so we weren't sharing a closet. So he did all that work. I think the only thing that I truly did that was like extra was the grocery shopping, because he hated grocery shopping. But I could still like say, hey, pick this up or pick that up. And if there was something he specifically wanted or liked, like snacks or whatever, he would go and pick them up. So it wasn't like I was doing all the shopping. He did some of the shopping, but I did the household shopping, like for laundry detergent, you know, paper towel, tissue, you know, all that stuff. And I did the majority of the cooking, so the majority of the food shopping was also on me. But my ex also cooked. So he was a very good cook, and there were just certain things he made, and he would help out in the kitchen too. While I was cooking, he would help with like preparation, and he did all the dishes, and he also like packed the food up, because he would pack food up for lunch. So he would do his little lunch containers and then put away the rest of the food, right? So to me, it was a balanced relationship. So no big deal. But most men expect women to carry the weight, and men also benefit from women taking care of them and like scheduling appointments for like the doctor. And so men won't go to the doctor, okay? It's just like, men don't know to take care of themselves. It's like a better quality of life when women are around, because women will take care of things and like do the organization. Anyway, the article, I'll link it down below, is pretty much saying that as a woman, it may not be the best thing to get married. Living solo is probably better for you, apart from the companionship, all right? But men actually end up benefiting from a partnership and being married than women do. They live longer, right? And women are more miserable. It's the article. But I sent him the articles because the article was funny. It wasn't that I agreed with every single thing the article said. It was just funny, and based in the context of the video that he sent me, I thought it was just funny, right? So I sent that to him. Law child, I sent it to him without saying anything. I'm just using a little bit of my Gucci primer. So he said, again, marriage to the wrong person. I personally shared in household duties. It's how I was raised. Even to this day, there's nothing I need a woman for. Women's liberation is a terrible construction. What? Okay, that has created this need for independence, with means, what? He said with, but I think it's which means they have to move like a man. What? Can we unpack that for a second? Hold on. But to each his own. I won't move like a woman to say I wouldn't want a female companion. Sounds like a terrible way to live. Y'all, all I did was send him the link to the article, right? After we were joking about what the comedian was saying. Like, I didn't even think it was that deep. This guy went on a whole tirade. I can't even. And I just said, okay. Because I'll hit you with the okay real quick. Because I'm not going to go back and forth with you. I'm just not. I love this Gucci primer, by the way. It's their matte primer. I'm just applying that again in my T-zone and on my nose. Whew, this nose, child, is so oily, right? But let's unpack what this dude really said. What foundation shall we wear? I'm actually, ooh, you know what, hold. I'm gonna allow this primer to set up while I read the rest and prepare my lashes for my lash line. So let's review again what this guy says. So he said here, women's liberation is a terrible construction that has created this need for independence, which means they have to move like a man. So he's saying, right, women's liberation is a terrible construction. First and foremost, what? Women's liberation. Let's look that up, shall we? So women's liberation is a movement to combat sexual discrimination and to gain full legal, economic, vocational, educational, and social rights and opportunities for women equal to those of men. Okay? So, women's lib is just asking for those equal rights for women, where women would be allowed to vote, would be allowed to go to school, they would be allowed to work, they would be allowed to own homes and have their own bank account without a husband. Did you know that this wasn't a thing back in the day? Like, women couldn't have their own bank accounts. They couldn't have a bank account without a man on it. So that's why women moved from their parents' house, where the father was taking care of them, to their marital home, where now the husband is the one that is the breadwinner, right? That's how it was, and that's how it had to be, because a lot of laws weren't in place that would allow a woman to be independent, right? So women couldn't vote, women couldn't have property, so obviously they depended on men. And that has changed in the last few decades. And this movement started in the 1960s. Do you understand that the 60s is not that far off? Like, my mom was born in 1952. So this is still within my parents' lifetime that women didn't have rights. Are you kidding me? In the West at that, right? So this dude is saying that women's liberation and the women's movement that is simply saying that we need equal rights and equal opportunities has created this need for independence. Like, what do you mean? Would you rather us be dependent? Like, what is wrong with someone wanting to be independent? I mean, I don't understand. Created this need for independence, which means they have to move like a man. How does independence, being independent, mean you have to move like a man? What does moving like a man mean? Oh, I can vote? Oh my God, I can have a bank account. I can own a car. I can own property. I can work and like financially support myself. Wow. He says that means that women are trying to move like a man. Pardon, like, no, y'all, I am so confusion. Like, what is he talking about? All right, I'm gonna use my Chanel foundation. This is the Sublimage Le Tint. I have the shade number 91 Beige D'Or. I have tried this foundation out a few times. I actually bought it for my birthday because it's high-end, it's expensive, and I'm like, oh, let me try it out, let me test it out. Cha! We have a review coming up for this, but I'm gonna use it today. Already mattified a lot because it is more of a dewy foundation. I hope the shade works. All right, it matched. Okay, I was fine with it when I bought it, but I got it tan, so I'm hoping. Yeah, it still matches. Perfect. Then I go, like I said, I just said, oh, okay. Like, how do you respond to something like if somebody says to you, like, what are you gonna say? Like, for real though, what am I gonna say? Then he says, women today are not happier working all the time, but lie in the bed that you have so wonderfully made. Is he coming for me? Is he coming for me? Like, did he just attack me? He's like, lie in the bed that you so wonderfully made. Oh yeah, I will. Do you know how much my mattress costs? Like, it's cozy and comfortable. I love that mattress. Like, what are we talking about here? I will gladly lay in that bed that I worked hard for. Yeah, you're damn right. I went to school. Okay, women are allowed to go to school and get an education. And I'm in a male-dominated industry. Okay, so apparently I'm acting like a man because I'm an engineer. Okay. Oh my God, so hear me now and I hear my response. Wow, never knew liberation was a bad thing. Imagine having equal rights being a bad thing. Wow. My liberation is emasculating. Gasp, gag, clutch my pearls. Y'all, I am the worst, okay? Because I was not taking this guy seriously. I was just like, if you don't move and go somewhere, like, I will be facetious till the death of me. That's my thing. I'm sarcastic and facetious. Like, okay, okay. He goes, no, it's not. My masculinity is intimidating. To whom? To whom exactly? He is one of those dude bros. I'm just like, oh no. Why is he agitating up the thing? Like, for real? So that was my question, for real though. To whom? This foundation, I'm not gonna put on much because, yeah, it absorbed pretty nicely. Imagine me flashing my tits right now. No, I'm not flashing anything. I'm hoping you guys have not seen any parts of my nudity right now. It's a nice foundation. It's not full coverage. It's more light medium. And that's enough. That's enough for me. It absorbed really quickly into my skin. It's kind of like a skincare foundation hybrid. So, right? But obviously I need some concealer because that's not enough. So I'm going to use Mycosis. So I said, to whom, right? He responds, all right, here we go. Another paragraph. I remember you making comments about me being in my feelings. I did, and I'll give you context. As if I, as a man, cannot express the feeling of sadness or deep hurt. Vulnerability is a strength, not a weakness. Agreed. Agreed. The problem exists on both sides. Men try to be too masculine and women operate from their masculine. Truth is, we're a combination of both. Finding balance is key. You know what my response to that was? You okay? Who are you talking to? Like, where is this coming from? Like, I don't understand. Like, where's this energy coming from? Because I don't follow, sir. I don't follow, okay? The Mycosis Concealer is shade 8.10. Here's the context. So, I forget what he did. Like, he was going off on something about how people don't support him and he can't understand, like, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, yo, you're in your feelings right now. You need to calm down because I'm not the one who hurt you. So I don't know why you're taking out all your, you know, your anger. Why are you taking it out on me? Like, dude, I wasn't married to you. I didn't cheat on you. His wife cheated on him, by the way. Given all his business, but I don't care at this point. Yeah, his wife cheated on him and left him for another man, which is why he's hurt. And I understand, like, this is what I'm saying. Like, I understand why you're hurt. Like, ooh, this is pretty. I'm gonna use my Lacquer powder. I understand why you're hurt. Like, I understand it all. Allure sponge, dampen it. Okay, he said, perfectly fine. I am listening to smooth jazz. So this is where he goes off, right? Like, he will get angry and, you know, start going off about how women's lib and and then he will be like, no, I'm chilling. I'm just in the house listening to some jazz and sipping on some drinks. And I'm like, are you okay though? Are you? Are you? So I respond with, were you not in your feelings? Because like I said, at the time that this happened, he was in his feelings. Like, he was feeling things. And I'm like, dude, I am not the one. I'm not your friend like that. Like, if you need somebody to vent to, I'm not that person. Like, I'm not cool with you like that. Like, that's none of my business. Go call your mother, go call your friend. Like, leave me outside, sir. So I was like, were you not in your feelings? Like, a statement, not a condemnation, which is true. Like, be in your feelings. You have every right to be in your feelings at that point. You were completely within your right, but I am not the person to get in your feelings with. Like, when I tell you, me and this guy are not like friends like that. We don't have conversations. Like, why are you getting mad at me? Right? So then I say, the way I'm not about to argue with you when I'm not the one who hurt you, right? So he goes, it's no argument. You brought up the liberation thing and shared the page, which I read. People will use anything to support their delusions. Love is the answer always, not division and independence. Oh, really? Whoa, look at you, child. So I said, now I'm delusional. Love is subjective. Good luck. And I said his name. Then he keeps going and I didn't even respond. I didn't respond. And I've left him on read. In fact, I just opened his message. He had sent me a couple more messages. I didn't even look at them. He was still he was still in my inbox, like, not read, don't care, didn't open, right? So unopened. And I asked that on Twitter. Is it more disrespectful to leave somebody on read or unopened? But now I opened the message. People were saying, oh, I rather you leave me unopened than on read. So I left him on read now because I opened the message to read the stuff to you guys. But I was just like, I don't care. Leave me alone. Like, I don't care that much about you. I'm not the person that needs to be liked by everybody. I'm not a people pleaser. I don't care that much. You're not my friend. You're not my family member. I'm not that invested in your well-being. It sounds bad, but I'm truly not. Like, I don't even, like, we're not even that cool. Like, I don't care about your well-being that much. I mean, I don't want anything to happen to you. That'd be mean. But at the same time, I'm not that invested. Like, I'll talk to you and talk you down if, like, I'm the last resort, but I shouldn't be the first person for you because I'm not your friend. Like, my best friend, my mom, my brother, like, I can be the first person they call, right? But this guy, I should be, like, bottom of the list. Like, we're not even that cool, dude. Like, fall back. Like, for real, though. I don't go to you with my troubles. I don't need you to come to me with yours, right? This is a Make Beauty blush. It's so pretty. So pretty. So it's like, is this guy serious? But these are the things that men are thinking these days. Like, women are too liberated. Like, women are masculine. They think they have to be strong, and now they're emasculating men. They think they can be like men, but they don't realize that independence is, and it's like, what? I would rather be alone than be with him or somebody like him. And low-key, I wanted to be so mean and be like, now I know why your wife left you. That would have been so mean, right? That would have been so unkind of me to say. But honestly, that's how I was feeling. I'm like, no wonder she left. Like, you are unbearable. Like, you are insufferable. Like, that's all I was thinking, is how insufferable this guy is. I'm using this Lotus Blossom Radiant Blush from CHATTY. This is just a light highlighter. That's what I added on my cheeky cheeks. But he's insufferable. Like, did you read those messages? Like, can you imagine being married to somebody like that and just having to have those conversations over and over and over? That would make me want to leave too, because like, oh, guys, I would want to leave too. I'm using the Make Beauty bronzer as well. This is the Skin Mimetic Micro Suede Bronzer. The shade I have is Equinox. It looks very red in the packaging, but it's not that red on the skin. It's a little bit red, but not really. And this is a red that I can vibe with my skin tone. I'm very warm, but this is a shade that I can vibe with. Okay, that is pretty. Okay, here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna figure out an outfit and I'll be back to, like, put a lip on. But this is it. Like, this is the makeup. I'll be right back. All right, I am back. But before we finish up, let me show you the outfit. Okay, yes, cleavage. Okay, she's on point. So here's my dress that I'm wearing. It's just a t-shirt dress, right? Long sleeves. I folded them up. stripes on one side and then a print. This is from a store in the mall, but I found them online, so if I can find this dress, I will link it. Honestly, I may not be able to find it because it was on sale, okay? Clearance. I love a good t-shirt dress though because they're so easy to just pop on. And I love a dress. It has a little fabric belt, buttons down the front, and then, you know, this okay. And then for my shoes, I am wearing heels. These are DKNY. They're just little slides, you know, and these are comfortable. They're really, really comfortable, okay? They're black slides, and then I have just a little black purse. You know, nothing crazy, something real simple, something light. I don't expect to be doing anything crazy. And then I have gold accessories, so gold earrings, and then my gold necklace, rings and stuff. You know, like I said, something light. So here you have it. Ooh, the cleavage is given, and I also smell pretty great. Okay, if I do say so myself. For the lips, I'm going to do something light. So I'm using one of the Sephora, what are these called? Oh my god, it's on a Claire back in, it's one of their glossy lip things, okay? It's like a coral. I'm just gonna pop that on, and then I'm gonna go over it with my lip oil from Mycosis. This is just the clear one. They have the pink and the brown, but the clear is like perfect for this, and they have this new red shade that I think I'm gonna pick up during the Sephora sale. But yeah, this guy, listen, okay, what the hell? Y'all tell me, is this what dating is like? Because I'm not doing it. Not doing it. I'm going on a date right now, but this is someone that, you know, anyway, that's not the point. If this is what dating is like in 2023, I don't want to do it. I don't want any parts of it. Like, what is that about? Like, men are crazy. Or maybe it's just him, but he has such a big problem with women being independent and women's liberation. And I'm like, oh, women have a choice now, right? So they'd rather be alone and preserve their peace than be with somebody like you that is just aggy as hell, aggravating, like, oh my god, so guy, listen, I was never interested in you in the first place, but especially now after the conversations we've had, I am definitely not interested. And whatever happened with you and your wife, whoo, she got out in time, because if you're like that with somebody that you're trying to convince to be with you or to date you or to be interested in you, if that's how you speak to me, I can't imagine what you were saying to her. Oh my god. This woman must have been going through it. She was like, nah, here's what's gonna happen. And I don't think cheating is right, okay? But sometimes people cheat and you're just like, I understand why. And I understand why, sis. Save yourself, because this dude is nuts. What is with these men, like this new movement of incels? They can't get a woman to be with them, so they're gonna blame the woman instead of looking inside and realizing that they are the problem. This necklace is twisting. But dude, you are the problem. Like, no one wants to date you because you're insufferable. And you having money and a job isn't enough anymore. We want personality, and we want someone that's gonna treat us well. Your job and your salary doesn't count enough anymore because we have our own jobs and we can support ourselves, so we don't need you to take care of us. And for things that we may need a little bit more muscle, we can hire someone or we can try to do it ourselves. So like, I would rather be alone for the rest of my life than deal with someone like him, because that was awful. Like, he is awful. And like I said, I'm just leaving him on red. Sometimes I like the entertainment, because sometimes you like to hear the nonsense. You're like, what? Like, people say these things because it just, it's entertainment for me, child. Because I'm telling you, I am not invested in anything that he's saying, and nothing that he says impacts me, so it's not a big deal if I listen to his nonsense every now and then. And the weird thing about it is, remember, I met this guy through my old job. He used to compliment me about how like impressed he was that I was an engineer and I'm like doing the damn thing and I'm like successful and I'm smart and all this stuff, right? And come full circle, now he's telling me that that independence is a turnoff. So, so am I in my masculine, or is it that I'm just not responding to you? So now it's making you mad. You feel like that means I'm in my masculine. Maybe that just means I'm not interested in you. Like, you're not my type. I don't want anything to do with you. You're not like a good person. Like, you may be a good enough person, like personally with your friends, but as far as a partner and dating, you're not. Like, you're not a good person, okay? I implore any woman to stay far away from you. But that's just funny to me. Like, how are you gonna compliment me on one hand for my accomplishments that I wouldn't have been able to do if it wasn't for women liberation, and then turn around, flip it, and say, oh, you're too independent, you're too masculine. You know, like, make it make sense. I don't get it. But here you have it, the final look. I love the eyeshadow, okay? Simple, neutral look. I love these palettes from Lorac, these Unlocked palettes. They're really, not unlocked, unzipped. Unlocked is hourglass, unzipped. These are really nice, and they give you really simple looks. They're shimmers or just shimmers, okay? They're just frost shades. Most of them apply like a satin. They're simple, easy eyeshadows, and the mattes, so good. So I love this eyeshadow look, and I love my complexion. I'm gonna see how this foundation fares. I've been testing it out so I can do a full review, but so far, so good. With the primer that I used, on its own it gets a little bit greasier, tell you that much. That's why I'm testing it with the primer and everything, since I just got this primer. Primer is really nice, the Gucci one for sure. This pore fill-in one from Glow Recipe, I'm still testing it out, but you know, it's a little serum. It's not necessarily a primer on its own. And there you have it. That's everything, right? I smell good, child. Ooh, I got my Tom Ford on. Stop playing with me. So there you have it. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video and chatting with me. Give me your feedback. Like, are men this crazy? Have you encountered any men like this? Because this is crazy, okay? Not so. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and leave a full list of the products used in this video down below in the description box, along with links on where you can pick them up. If those links have an asterisk next to them, that indicates that it is an affiliate link, which means I will get a small sales commission if you make a purchase through those links. It's a great way to give back to the channel, in addition to my super thanks and my channel memberships, which kind of operate as a tip jar. All those things help me to put right back into the channel, so I really appreciate your support. But if you're not comfortable with that, just shop the way you normally shop, no muss, no fuss. I'm still happy you're here watching. You can also show your support by clicking the like button, leaving a comment, favorite. You can share with your friends, all that good stuff, because all that engagement still helps out the channel. And I will go ahead and leave links to my Instagram and Twitter where you can follow me along. And until my next video, which will be very soon, I'll talk to you. Bye, guys.